And Mayor Mamdani did shake hands with the king today during that stop in Lower Manhattan. But what would a Democratic socialist mayor say to a king if he had the chance to speak privately? Political reporter Marcia Kramer has the answer.
For days, Iran Mamdani has seemed uncomfortable with the idea of meeting the king. Every time reporters asked about King Charles's visit to New York City, he made it seem like he would be just a bit player in a somber wreath-laying ceremony at Ground Zero.
I'll be attending a wreath-laying alongside a number of other elected officials, including Governor Hochul, Governor Sherrill, and the focus of that wreath-laying is to honor the more than 3,000 New Yorkers who were killed in the horrific terror attacks of September 11th. And that's what I'm really looking to do at that event.
But the two did get to meet face-to-face, not just at the ceremony. The man who happily posted pictures of himself eating a burrito on the subway, chatting with a man whose public transportation usually runs to horse-drawn carriages. Mamdani was smiling. It's unclear what he said. Earlier, he was asked what he would say to the king if they did get to chat, and it was right out of his ideological playbook.
If I was to speak to the king separately from that, I would probably encourage him to return the koh-i-noor diamond.
To most students of diplomacy, that was probably not the right thing to say to King Charles. The massive diamond is inside a crown given to the king's grandmother in 1937. It has a complex history. 4 countries, India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Iran, claim it belongs to them, and they want it back. Political experts say it was probably not the most diplomatic thing the mayor could have said.
It's a terrible idea. Terrible idea. As the mayor of New York, he was speaking to the king through the media.
Is your advice to him to say, stay out of foreign policy?
Stay out of foreign policy unless it helps all New Yorkers with your current problems.
Well, if you look online, it did raise a lot of eyebrows, that comment did, Marcia. So let's talk about lasting implications here.
Well, you know, Christine, it's way too early to tell what the lasting implications are, but O'Brien Murray says it's the kind of thing that can make people in England, Ireland, Scotland, and the Commonwealth countries think twice about coming here as tourists.
So the mayor has shown some finesse, though, when he's met with other leaders. I mean, there was this very cheery photo of him and the president, you know, in the Oval Office.
Well, look, you're right about that. But when the mayor talks about foreign policy, he sometimes reacts not as the mayor of New York City, but as the son of a pro-Palestinian social activist who was born in Uganda and moved to the city when he was 7. Remember, he also said he would arrest Israeli Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu if he came here. So he's had a few, say, foreign policy faux pas. And as O'Brien Murray says, stay out of foreign policy.
Okay, we'll stick to the city. Thank you, Marcia.